From Srimad-Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, slok 4. Arjuna vacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvata katameta nijaniyam tam ado praptavan. Arjuna said, your birth is recent, where Surya was spoken in ancient times. How am I to understand that you spoke this yoga to him in a previous age? In other words, Krishna is saying that Arjuna is asking the question that you told me that you spoke this science to the sun god a long time ago. But how is that possible? You were just born recently, within 100 years back. So how is it that you spoke it so many millions of years ago? So to answer this question here, Krishna is going to speak. Bhavanuva by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Considering Sri Krishna's previous statement to be impossible, Arjuna is questioning him. You were born recently, Aparam, and Surya was born long ago, Param. So how can I believe your statement that you instructed this yoga to Surya in ancient times? Prakashika Vritti by Srila Gurudev. Arjuna is Bhagavan's great Bhakta and Nitya Saka. For this reason, he is also referred to as a parikar of Sri Krishna, and as such, he knows Bhagavad Tattva completely. Ignorant people generally think that Bhagavan Vasudeva, the controller of all controllers, is an ordinary human being. Instead of accepting that he is omniscient, never existing, they consider him to be a man of limited knowledge who is subject to death. They also think that the birth and activities of Bhagavan are temporary, not knowing that they are transcendental. He is omniscient and ever existing. In other words, Krishna has always existed. But ordinary people think Bhagavan's birth and activities to be ordinary. It is said in Bhagavad Gita 10:12, Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Contrary to the meaning of this shloka, ignorant persons do not accept that Bhagavan is the supreme absolute truth. Param Brahma. Possessed with a spiritual form, Param Dhama, and supremely pure, Param Pavitra. In other words, Bhagavan is Param Brahma, Param Dhama, and Param Pavitra. He is the supreme absolute truth, he has a beautiful form, and he is pure. They also do not believe that he is an eternal person, Shashvat Purush, and the original God, Adi Deva, who is unborn, Aja, and all-pervading Sattva Vyapa, and who is endowed with transcendental opulence, Divya Aishwarya. So they believe none of this is true. Atheists, they only believe what they see. You show me, then I believe. But they blindly put faith in so many mundane things. That they will believe, but when it comes to spiritual matters, then no, now you have to show me. It's double standard, hypocrites. People, they blindly place their faith in science, the media, and what people tell them all the time. But when it comes to understanding God and surrendering to Bhagavan, oh, that time we need evidence. No, I need to see, give me evidence. But you don't need evidence for this nonsense that you're doing now. For that you can blindly follow. No problem. But for doing seva, you need evidence. So these ignorant people, these foolish people, they deny the existence of Bhagavan. Although Arjuna is highly learned for the welfare of humanity, he is inquiring from Bhagavan Shri Krishna as if he were an ignorant person, that Bhagavan might deliver these tattvas from his own lotus mouth. Arjuna is inquiring, but he knows everything. And this way, Bhagavan is going to use Arjuna as a medium to speak. And so the only way to really receive knowledge is have faith. Without Shraddha, we cannot accept anything. And that thing which you have Shraddha in, your tendency will be blindly follow that. Or follow it even though it may be wrong. You don't care. People, they'll follow. People don't like to hear what is right, they don't want to change actually. People don't like change. Anything that will instigate some kind of change in their life, then they're very skeptical. Then they'll question. So, but those things which is favorable for their enjoyment, they'll blindly accept. You come to somebody and give them some money. Well, they may think, oh, why are you giving? They may question. But then when they realize that, okay, it's charity, they'll take it. Why the money is good for their enjoyment. They can enjoy in so many ways. But you try to give them a book, Bhagavad Gita, book distribution. No, I am so busy. They won't even stop. Like Kaviyo is quoting Giridhari. Try to stop a dog, he's so busy, running from one end of the street to the next. Hey, stop for one second. No, I am so busy. What all is he doing? He's running at the end of the street, lifting his back leg, passing urine in the corner, then he's running back here. That's all he's doing, running back and forth. Similarly, when you try to distribute books, you go to the city center, people are very busy, they're going from office here and there, doing their work. Try to grab their attention and there's so much dialed in, so much focus on what they're doing, it's very hard to stop them. Especially if they see you are dressed like sadhu, this and that. They go, no, they'll run away. Even if you do stop them, then put a book in their hand. So this is the rule. When you do book distribution, but you have to figure some way how to stop them. So you need to have be clever, have a good energy, positive energy. Not only it depends on the person's sukriti also. If he has some samskar, some sukriti, then he will stop. If he has nothing, then he will never stop also. So you cannot stop everybody. But if you are very expert, then you'll say anything to catch their attention. You're like, hey, mister, you going that way? You ask something useless like that. Then, wait 1 second. Yep. Or you ask, would you have the time? And they stop, and they have to pull out their watch. Then you say, so you somehow or another you catch their attention. Somehow. And then the rule is, before you start speaking anything, you have to take the book and put it in their hand. If you start speaking without the book in the hand, it's all waste. It's like buying like outdated medicine or something. The date's already gone, you cannot use it. Or you're buying a ticket for a train, the train is already left. In other words, if you speak without the book in the hand, then all that, you're going to waste your energy, time. Because you don't know really if the person is interested or not, whether you'll take the book. So you're shooting in the dark. What you do is you put the book first in the hand, another. Here, we're passing these out, take a look. Whatever, you have some lines on it. Hey, we're giving these out today. This for you. This for me. Once it's in their hand, now they're stuck with it. They cannot run. They cannot just drop the book and run. Now they're grounded a little bit. Now you have their attention, like now they're fully hooked in, like they're stuck. At least for whatever time. And then you have, and the second rule is, now you have maximum 3 minutes. In 3 minutes time you have to convince him. If he doesn't take the book within 3 minutes, then you move on to the next person. In 3 minutes you can explain a lot. And when already by 3 minutes he's not convinced, that means he's not going to be convinced. Some people, what in experience book distributors sometimes they do is that they knew, and it's very difficult, to be honest. I used to do in Bangalore a lot, so it's hard to stop people. So finally when you stop somebody, you're like, okay, finally somebody is listening to me. Then you want to just talk to them. And you don't really care if they're going to take the book or not. You just want to talk just so you can get into the process of doing it and explain the philosophy. So you're explaining, and what happens in inexperienced books where you'll speak sometimes maybe half an hour with one person, 1 hour even, getting some argument, getting into interesting conversation. And then in the end of there's no guarantee whether the person will take the book, and you've wasted half an hour, 1 hour every day. In that time you could have distributed 10 books to people, 10 different people. The people in the street, they're so passionate, and their moods are very passionate tamasic, so the energy is very heavy. You're always talking to all these karmis with all these desires, and it starts to wear on you. That gives them some contamination. But if you always remember the flawless with the Guru Padava and the Vaishnava, doing everything for their pleasure, then you can feel inspired. And what inspires you is when someone actually is interested takes the book. So, but without the Sukriti, they cannot take the book. So you have to filter it. You have to filter through the people. So that's why the 3-minute rule. The book is, once the book is in the hand, now you start speaking. Oh, we're passing this out, it's very nice, spending some yoga, not any yoga, Raja yoga, the topmost yoga. You explain something, speak something about whatever you may speak. It doesn't matter so much what you say actually. It depends on what mood you say. If your energy is positive, and you have a good mood, and your attitude is not to collect money from them, people are sensitive to that. If you're trying to get their money, they can feel it, They can understand it. Because why everyone is doing that? In the material world, everyone is after your money always. Wherever you go, there's advertisements attacking you. Buy this, buy that. Bills are always coming to your home. Pay the rent, pay the electricity, pay the water bills, pay your mobile bills. Their money is always bleeding. Their money is going every day, so they're in a struggle for their existence. Earn money more than they're spending. This is their whole existence. Money is going, getting money going. So they're very sensitive to spending money. And if you speak in such a way that looks like you're trying to sell them something, no, then they're not. Why are they going to spend money, their hard-earned money on some religious book they're not going to read anyway? And they will run away. So you have to be, energy has to be good, positive. And you need to speak some genuine Harikatha. Something, give them a little bit something. Speak in a good mood. And if you are sincerely speaking in a good mood, like you're looking for their spiritual welfare, and if they have some adhikar, then within that 3 minutes, they'll say something positive. They won't try to give the book back, they'll give some positive sign. And at that time then you say, so we are giving them there's no cost in this book, we're giving them some donation. You give some donation, then you suggest some amount. But depends on, if the person is very nice, they don't have money, then okay, you may give some discount or free. But generally, the rule is if they're not willing to pay, they're not going to value the book. They'll just throw it and they'll disrespect it. So you always have to take some money from them. And if you don't say an amount, then it's kind of hit and miss. They may give a lot, they may give very little. But sometimes somebody giving some donation. If they ask how much, then you can suggest whatever you need. Otherwise, if you in a very generous mood, say, okay, whatever you like to give. If you feel that the person is not so convinced, he's like thinking yes or no. Maybe the money may be an issue for him. But generally you can just say anything, just say a price, and if they say, no, I don't have that money, then you can just give what you. And then, if they pull out their money, okay, then they've taken the book. Then you go to the next person. Otherwise, if you're not careful, then your whole day of book distribution will go by and you will never distribute anything. And the same, whether it's a big book or small book, there's not much difference actually in the distribution. Whether it's a Gita or small book. Saying the big book, sometimes people are a little hesitant. They're afraid, oh, it's a big book. But the difference between distributing a small and big book is not much more. It's like a very fine, 15% maybe difference. Whatever you're saying for the small books, you can be saying for the big books. In English, they have a saying, if you don't ask, you don't get. And also, throw mud on the wall and see what sticks. You throw mud on the wall, some of it will stick, some will fall on the ground. So you ask and you try, then you'll see what will happen. If you're always distributing the big books, then you'll distribute a lot of big books. If you're always afraid, oh no, They won't take the big books, they only want small books. If that's your mentality, then you'll never distribute the big book. You'll always be doing the small ones and you'll always distributing them only. But the big books, they have special shakti in them, more than the small books, you can say. Like the Bhakti Krishna's Gita. It is substantial, But they're all transcendental and perfect. But there's more satisfaction in distributing the big book. And also more donation will come from that. So, these people, they are very ignorant, and try to help them, try to turn their face towards Krishna, not so easy. Very hard to catch their attention. But Krishna, through instructing Arjuna, he is doing that. He is catching everyone's attention, speaking these things to help us understand his Sarup, the nature of Bhagavan, nature of this world, nature of the Jiva. And someone who is very inquisitive, then they will be very interested actually. Sometimes you meet people who are very interested. You don't even have to say anything, they'll take so many books from you. So, here, continuing, Shloka 5. And people in general, they're very... So yeah, my point was that people are... Whatever they have faith in, they're going to follow that very easily. That which they don't have faith in, then they won't accept. So, especially for Bhakti, if they have to accept Bhakti, you have to generate some faith. How to generate some faith? By speaking the words of your Guru there, speaking the words of Guru Paraparma. His Harikatha, speaking his glories. Then, that Harikatha may awaken something in their heart. And if you awaken something in their heart, then they'll become attracted. But otherwise people are going to blindly follow all nonsense. Whether they see or not, whether they understand or not, they don't care. So their heart is there, my attachment is towards that thing. Slok 5, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava cha Arjuna, tanyaham veda sarvani natam vekta parantapa. Sri Bhagavan said, O Parantapa, chastiser of the enemy, you and I have experienced many births. I remember all of them, whereas you did not. The Jiva, when he takes birth, it's Bhagavan's mercy actually, his provision, that when you take birth, you forget your previous lives. Why? Because in previous lives you accumulate so many samskars and perform so many sinful activities, so much suffering. If you were to remember all the suffering from all your previous lives, you will go crazy, you will go mad. You will not be able to bear that pain, all the things that you suffered. So Bhagavan, he mercifully gives us forgetfulness. So it's like a fresh start. But the samskars of all those activities are there in the heart. But you cannot remember them. They just kind of affect your choices. You are inclined to certain things in a certain way because of these samskars. And people have fears. Fear of heights, fear of death, everyone has fear of death, but the Jiva is dying all the time. The Jiva doesn't like death. When he's a soul, he's eternal, why I die? To suffer that pain is so intolerable. But other fears of heights, fears of claustrophobia, fears of spiders, arachnophobia, and all these different fears may be there. Because of some scars in previous life. Therefore you become afraid of that. Afraid of the ocean. Different people have different fears, Fear of flying, so many maybe there. So but Bhagavan, he helps us by letting us forget everything. But yet we are still affected in a way that we don't even realize. And for a devotee, he may have so many bhakti samskars, favorable devotional samskars. And those samskars, they will awaken so many things in him. Once the jiva he comes in contact with Sarva Sangha, then he will continue from where he left off from his previous bhajan bhakti. Very soon. In a short time he will pick up everything. One person may come to the line of devotion, it will take him a long time to understand, follow everything. You understand, he has left samskar, not so much samskar. He's building samskar now, he's creating now impressions. For someone he knew, he comes, before he was a materialist, but then he very quickly, he was very qualified, everything. Guru Vaishnava gave him sannyas, a big preacher, everything. Why? Because previous life he did all these things. And now he's continuing from where he left off. He has good devotional samskar. And he's able to continue on the path. That's why that was discussed in the second chapter. Neha pritna vinash asti pratyavaya nividdhaya. Solving api asya dharmasya kayate mahatomaya. Nothing is lost in this path. So Bhagavan is saying, I remember all my births, you do not. Bhavanuvar. In this sloka beginning with Bahuni, Sri Bhagavan says, I have also instructed this science in my other avatars. Tavacha means, you have also appeared as my associate whenever I have descended. And I, being omniscient, Sarvagya, and omnipotent, Sarveshwar, remember all my appearances. For the fulfillment of my Leela, I have covered your Gyan. That is why you do not remember your previous birth. Now with the Abhiman identity of the son of a son of Kunti, you are giving tapa, pain, to Para, the enemy, or Parantapa. Therefore his name is Parantapa. He is the pain giver. The giver of pain to his enemies. That is the meaning of the name. So, where Bhagavan, he said, I have spoken this before in my other incarnations. But this Gita and Vani is spoken directly by Sri Krishna himself. Other incarnations, they cannot speak it as it is like this. But they will speak about what? Talk similar topic. Atma Tattva, all Karma Yoga. They'll speak all these things, but and Gita means what? It means that which is sung. That song which delivers which gives us deliverance. Gita, it is what Gita means Tahini Trayate, delivered. Gi means that song. Giyate Trayate is the Gita. That which is sung and delivers everyone is called the Gita. So Bhagavan, regardless of the incarnation, he will teach, he will establish Yuga Dharma, he will help all the jivas. He will speak and give instructions. As Ram gave so much Maryada, Krishna is giving now, and Mahaprabhu himself also gave so many instructions. And his other incarnation, Hamsa Avatar, he spoke to the four Kumaras, science and Vedas, Vedic knowledge. Narayan himself, the four Vedas emanated from his mouth. Different incarnations, Hayagriva. Also, Madhu and Kaita, the two demons, they stole the Vedas, and Bhagavan in the Hayagriva incarnation came and he killed them, he took the Vedas back. He spoke those Vedas. Bhagavan is always establishing Dharma in different ages. Prakashika Vritti. Here Sri Krishna informs Arjuna, even prior to this present appearance, I have descended in many other avatars, manifesting many different names, forms and pastimes. I remember all of them fully. You also appeared with me, but because you are in the category of Jiva Tattva, atomic conscious particles, you do not remember them. At the time of Krishna's name-giving ceremony, Sri Gargacharya also confirmed that he has many names, forms and pastimes. Bahoni santi namani rupani cha sutasyate gunakarmani rupani tanyaham vedana janaha. The 10th canto of Bhagavatam said that according to his qualities, gunas and activities, karma, your son has many names and forms. I am aware of them, but others are not. Similarly, Bhagavan told Muchukunda Maharaj, Janma karma vidhanani santi me anga sahasra. Oh my dear Muchukunda, my name, birth, activities and other characteristics are unlimited. Muchukunda Maharaj, he was one king. Rishi, he was actually in a yoga nidra, doing a sleeping for a long, long time. Not like one day, but I think maybe in thousands of years, I'm not sure, but he was sleeping a very long time. And he had so much of power of austerity. So, I think it is that when Krishna wanted to kill Dantavakra, I think it's Dantavakra, he came on the battlefield to fight, and Krishna began running away. And Dantavakra chased Krishna. And Krishna ran into the hills where Muchukunda was doing austerity, and went into the cave. Krishna hid himself. And Dantavakra came, I'm not sure if it was Dantavakra, I have to check, but I think so. Then Dantavakra came after him, looking for Krishna, and they saw Muchukunda someone in the darkness or someone laying on the ground. So he kicked him. Hey, get up and fight me. Muchukunda Maharaj woke up with Yoga Bal. He was so angry. Who kicked me? With anger, Yoga burnt him to ashes. That was Muchukunda Maharaj. Then Bhagavan revealed himself, and then this conversation took place. Bhagavan instructs him. It's defined in the 10th canto, chapter 51. Shloka 6. Ajobi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swam adistaya sambhavam atmanmaya. Although I am unborn, imperishable, and the controller of all living entities, I appear by my yoga maya potency in my original Satchidananda Swarup. Bhavanuvar by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Big purport. Sri Bhagavan is explaining the principle behind his birth, Janma Tattva. Although I am unborn, I manifest in various species such as the Devas, humans and animals. You can see Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrsimha, Vaman. If you see Bhakti Rasa Siddhanta, this is like evolution theory. Darwinism describes evolution, right? From the smaller species evolved into the bigger species. So here we can see there is some evolution in the form or the material form of this Dasavatar. First we start with Matsya, fish, in a very low form of life. Only can live in the water, very limited. But then when we evolve from Matsya, we come to Kurma, which is turtle. Lives in the water but can be on the land also, both. Then we evolve from Kurma, we go to Varaha. Varaha is the boar. The boar is mostly on the land, but it can also swim in the water. And when we evolve from, it's like basically Manu. Varaha we come to Nrsimha. Now he's not an animal, half man, half land. Half human, half animal. Evolvement there. But we evolve even further, and we come to Vaman, okay. Fully human, but he's dwarf. We evolve more, then he's Parashuram. Okay, he's fully human, but he's a little like barbaric, little rough nature. Evolve further than that, we come to Ram. Oh, he's perfect, ideal, very beautiful, everything. And more than that, we evolve Balaram, Sankarshan Ram. Baladev, he's direct, the last expansion of Krishna himself. Then, after that, then evolves who? The Buddha. Then, like self-realized human, enlightened. And then after that, in the end, Kalki. Then he's like the embodiment of Bhagavad Tattva. He comes and when he's with the speed of mind on his white horse, he's going, he's killing everything. He's like the ultimate perfection. He can do anything. Like so, in the same way we see all this, like in the Darwin evolution philosophy, they are doing all this. They have this conception. But reality, the real evolution is, you can see, is there in the Dasavatar. It's not that one is evolving to other, but one is one grade higher than another, like externally speaking. So the species are actually fixed, 8,400,000 species of life. The species are never evolve into another. They may change their sarup, but the old species always remains, like a butterfly. First it's caterpillar, then he turns into a butterfly. But that doesn't mean that all caterpillars stop to exist. Caterpillars exist also and the butterfly exist, both exist. And the thing with evolution theory is that if the evolution was going on, then we would see evolution happening before us. People would also be evolving. But you don't see the humans, they're not evolving, they're the same. They say, no, because it happens over such a long period of time, millions and millions of years. Yeah, it's happening over millions and millions of years, but not everyone will be on the same point of evolution, right? And still there's gradations. Still you would see something happening. But there's no evidence for evolution at all. So, Bhagavan, he accepts all the different animal species. This Dasavatar only gives you some indication. Bhagavan, he can accept any form. Like we see snake, Ananta Shesh. He is actually manifestation of Bhagavan himself. In the form of a snake. As a bird, Garud, you can see. Out of all birds, Garud is the topmost. He is the eagle. He's also making the parikara of the Lord. Always Lord staying on him. So we can consider he is empowered. So the Lord, he can accept any form. And therefore the devotees also may accept any form, as long as they remain a devotee. Gita janmahau yatatuvadas bahemukha brahman nahi. Bahemukha brahma nahi tavas. That Gita janmahau yatatuvadas. Even if I am a worm or insect, if I can be a devotee, I will. Bahemukha brahma janma nahi aj. But if you want to give me birth of Brahma, who is Bahirmukh, I don't want that even if he is the highest position. But as a worm, I can be a devotee. But I cannot be Brahma who is a non-devotee. So this is the wonderful Leela of the Lord. He is manifesting everywhere, in every form. One may ask, what is so wonderful about this? In reality, the jiva is also unborn, and when his gross body is destroyed, he also accepts another birth. In response, Sri Bhagavan says, Abhyayatma. My body is imperishable, whereas the body of the jiva is perishable. Moreover, the unborn nature of the jiva is of a different type. His birth is due to his identifying with the body, which is arisen out of ignorance. As Ishvara, I am none different from my body. Consequently, my quality of being both born and unborn is perfectly natural. Such a nature, which is impossible to find elsewhere, is wonderful and beyond the scope of logic and reason. Bhagavan's form is beyond all logic and reason. He has no birth, he has no death. Always existing, he is perfect. He is the soul itself. There is no soul inside Bhagavan. Or there is in that sense. Krishna is always thinking of Srimati Radhika, so Radhika is always in the heart of Krishna. So Radhika is Krishna's soul. Therefore, Babaji said that in this slok, this Vikriditam Braja Varubirinam Chavishnos, Shadayamvita Anushnaya Ata Varnayadva, Bhakti Param Bhagavati Patilapni Kama Hridroga Ashu Apinoti Achiranadira. That Vikriditam, we should hear the passions of Vishnu, who is forming passions with the Braj Gopis. Vishnu here means the name for Krishna, means Vyapnoti iti Vishnu, one who is all pervasive. But Krishna is not all pervasive. Why he is everywhere, but who is inside his heart? He is not thinking of himself. But he is thinking of Radhika. Radhika is in Krishna's heart, therefore Radhika is real Vishnu. Radhika is really all pervasive. But she even exists in the heart of Krishna. So, therefore, Bhagavan, he is all pervasive. He is unborn. He is not different from his body. His soul and Atma is everything is one. The Jiva Atma is stuck inside the material body which is perishable. Therefore he has to experience birth and death and suffering. So by logic and reason we cannot understand Bhagavan's Achintya Swarup, Transcendental Swarup. How can we understand that? Achintya Swarup, Premanjana Chulita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Syama Sundaram Achintya Gunasarupam Govindam Ari Purusham Tamahang Bhajami. By love and devotion, we can understand his birth, form, activities, everything. Thus, there is no possibility of comparing my birth to that of the jiva, who takes birth in high and low species as a result of his piety and sin. To clarify this further, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, even though I am the Ishvara of the jivas, which means that I am free from the control of karma, I still accept birth. But not like an ordinary birth. Krishna accepts. He desires, he chooses where he appears from and how he appears. But we are forced into the womb of the mother and forced to take birth and suffer. There is no escape for the jiva. Bound by his karma, he will have to take birth again and again. Forced, dying, taking birth, dying. You have to suffer this. The following doubt may be raised. The jiva also takes bodies in various species such as devas, humans and animals, due to the activities of his subtle body, linga sharir, which causes his bondage. You, Parameshwar, do not have a subtle body. You are all pervading and the controller of all principles, including kal, time and karma, action. It is said in the Shrutis that you desire to become many, bahu, sham. I can become many. According to this statement of Shruti, you are everything in the entire universe. However, you specifically express in the Shruti, Evam Bahutokpi Aham Sambhavami. Although I appear to be everything in the universe, still I personally manifest myself. From this it is understood that you take birth only to manifest your eternal form, which is categorically distinct from the whole universe. In other words, Bhagavan, by his sweet will he takes birth. And he takes birth as under his condition, how he wants. Even though he is all pervasive, but he can localize himself anywhere, in any form he likes. Whereas us, we are forced to take birth according to our karma, high and low species. We'll finish here today, we'll continue tomorrow. Gaura Brahmananda Hari Hari Bal Jai Shri Guru Pada Padma Ki Jai Guru Parampara Ki Jai Sachidananda Gaur Hari Ki Jai Saparsada Gaur Hari Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Sankirtan Gari Bhakti Vinna Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur Pad Ki Jai Anantagati Vaishnu Vinna Ki Jai Samagata Bhakti Vinna Ki Jai Nithai Gaur Brahmananda Hari